Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series, number 13, 6-inch scale Clone Trooper Captain. Alright you guys, so looking at the packaging here, you can see that it's more of the same Black Series type of Phase 2 packaging as they're referring to it now. Does a very nice job of showcasing the figure and its accessories. Has an image there on the upper right of the character, and then on the bottom you can see that it's kind of like a tri-logo packaging type deal where it has the name of the figure mentioned in different languages. The back of the box, pretty simple, as it tends to be the case with Black Series. There's a little bit of an image there of some clones doing battle, but other than that, very, very plain. Alright you guys, and here's our Clone Trooper out of the packaging, and as you can see here, it is basically just a repaint of the original Phase 2 6-inch Clone Trooper. Of course, we had the original version, which was just all white, and then we got a repaint of that, which was the Sergeant, which is the green striping, and then this one here, being the Captain, has the red striping. Just as was the case before, the sculpt on this figure is absolutely very well done. It looks so much like the Clone Troopers that we saw in Attack of the Clones. The coloring on it, very nice, vibrant white. Very nice deep shade of red that I think looks very, very good. And also, as was the case before, he does come with 2 accessories. I'll give you a close-up here of the head. As you can see, the helmet is very, very nice. Very faithful to the clones from Episode 2. And, just all around very, very cool. Very nice sculpt work on Hasbro's part. I really like the crest on top of their helmet. Very cleanly applied paint. I think it looks really, really good. There was some issues with the previous clones with the visors not being painted all the way through. It looks like they finally fixed that problem because this looks really, really good. I don't really see any issues with the paint being sloppy on this guy, which is great because we don't really get that all the time with Hasbro. Rest of the body, very nice. You get the 4 red dots there denoting him as a captain. And again, really love that shade of red, which contrasts so nicely with the very vibrant white of his armor. Belt looks really good. He has very nice looking legs and, just what you would expect. He's got gray outlining on the bottom of his, around his feet. Not a whole lot to add to this other than what I may have said in the past about this sculpt, but I really, really do like it. And I think with this paint, it looks great. Now, one thing I will say is that this figure does feel pretty waxy. You don't really notice it while handling him, but, once you, put him aside and you just start kind of feeling your hands kind of feel like they have like a waxy sort of feel to them. And I know with the DC Collectibles figures, that's often due to, the oils that they use around the joints. That way, it can move a little more smoothly. But I don't know why it would be the case on this. They could use it too. Hasbro might use the same sort of thing, or it could just be the plastic. Maybe residue from when it was painted or something. I'm not really sure. In the way of articulation, the Clone Trooper has a ball joint here at the head, and does get a pretty decent range of movement. Goes down, goes up. Okay, could be better going up, but side to side is good. Not a whole lot of tilting. He does have ball joints on the shoulders, but it is restricted, with the armor the way that it is here, kind of hitting from the shoulder to the chest area right there. You just can't get a whole lot of movement from it. It does go out a little bit like that, but to get it to go up, obviously you're seeing it hits right there, so you can't really do that on either arm. So a bit of a bummer. He has swivels at both of the biceps, double bends at the elbows, hinging at both of the wrists. This one goes in and out, not very well I might add, and this one goes up and down, also not very well. Just seems very, very stiff. He has a ball joint here at the torso. He has ball hinging at both of the hips, so they don't go out all that much. They do go, forward and back pretty well. He's got swivels at both of the upper thighs, double bends at the knees, which move very nicely, and then ball hinging at both the ankles along with rocker swivels. So very, very nicely articulated. In the way of accessories, this clone comes with 2 of them. First of all, he has the long Clone Trooper style of rifle, and, just like with the green Clone Sergeant. This one has, the little silver paint details on there. And, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I don't think it's accurate to the film, but, it looks good. And, pretty nice weapon. And then for the secondary weapon. He comes with the shorter Clone Trooper rifle, and just like with the first one, it does have that grayish silver paint, and all in all, very simple, but it does look pretty good. All right, you guys, and now looking at the three 6-inch Black Series Phase 1 Clone Troopers, I think that they look very nice together. One thing you will notice is that the shade of white on their armor is different amongst the three figures. The original one is kind of like a medium white, I guess I would say. Looks like it's maybe cast in that shade of plastic, perhaps. The second one, the Sergeant, has more of like an ivory sort of quality to his paint, which kind of gives it a slightly more yellowish color. And then finally, the newest has a more vibrant white, and I think this one looks the absolute best. So, there is some inconsistency when you have these three guys together. The other thing I mentioned was that with the initial Clone Trooper, Hasbro wasn't really filling out the whole visor, with the black paint, and, you can kind of see that here, that it just looks kind of sloppy, like the paint mask was completely off. There's a whole little gap right there where they didn't fill in the visor with any black paint. It's much better on the second version, the Sergeant, but it's still imperfect. Like the very outer edges, they missed painting those. With the latest one, they finally got it right. And we have the Clone Commander coming out as part of an Amazon.com exclusive 4-pack, which has yellow markings, and let's hope that they maintain this overall bright white look to it, along with a very nice secondary coloring. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series, number 13, 6-inch scale Clone Trooper Captain. Overall, I must say I'm very pleased with this figure, as I should be. After all, the previous releases of this clone were really, really good. And, this one is even better in my opinion, because I think that Hasbro finally really nailed the shade of white on the uniform. And I really love the way that the red looks on him, too. It's a little bit too bad that some of the articulation doesn't function quite properly, such as the shoulders kind of being restricted there by the armor, and the wrists being very stiff as well. You can still get him into some really nice poses. It's just that if he has all this articulation, it really should work. But other than that, I really have no gripes about this guy, other than, say, maybe, the waxy feeling I have in my fingers after handling him. But it's a very nicely done figure if you're collecting the 6-inch Black Series. It's not really essential if you already have the first clone. I mean, they're all repaints. So if you're not really too picky about that, I would say that this is still the best one of the three so far. So if you're going to get one, I would recommend this one to you. As a clone fan and someone who just loves Clone Troopers and Stormtroopers, I had to have this guy. So if you're like me, then you're going to want to pick one up as well. And again, the Yellow Commander is coming out next month from the looks of it. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, I'd like to give him 5 stars because he's very close to it, but some of the articulation could just work a little bit better, so I'm going to go ahead and give him 4 stars. But all in all, a very solid figure, one of my personal favorite in the 6-inch Black Series. All right, my friends, if you enjoyed this video, I do encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this figure and whether or not you've picked him up or are planning to. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. There is a link to my Twitter account down in the description. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.